Got a DM from a guy called Donan. Donan, if you're watching this, excuse if I've pronounced your name wrong, but I'm going to read it. It said, "We need another building a brand series, mate. Huge fan of Headstrong. Oh, we need 30 minutes to 1 hour this time. Thanks." Aside from that being a really lovely message, which it is, here's the issue and here's why I can't do that. At the minute, my life doesn't really warrant a 30-minute to 1 hour a week episode of building the brand. I spend a lot of my time behind my desk working at the computer in my apartment. I don't leave the apartment too much, especially during the week. I train, I eat, and I work. That's pretty much what I do. Now, there's only so much talking to a camera about business, about Headstrong, that I can do without it becoming a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring. If we take, say, someone who I love to watch, George Heaton, for example. Me and George grew up about 20 minutes apart from each other, so I always find it very inspiring watching George. And he has reached a point, and his brand has reached a point that many aspiring entrepreneurs aspire to reach one day. So it's great to watch. He's jet setting, he's traveling around the world all the time, putting on cool events, meeting with cool people, and it warrants documenting on a regular basis. Now, if George documented building Represent a decade ago when he first started, it would probably look a lot like what I'm doing now, and that doesn't really warrant too much documenting, because I think equally I want to make this stuff entertaining, and I don't just want it to become me just talking all the time to a camera. But the reality is that, like I said, I spend a large portion of my time just sat behind my desk working, and that is why when I put out content I try and make it as entertaining as possible, but I can't put it out on too much of a regular basis, because it'd all be it would be all filler, no killer, as they say. Sometimes you'll have these days when you're running your own business where nothing just seems to stick. It's like everything you're doing to push the business forward is just met with resistance, and it just feels like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, like nothing has any value almost, or any sort of depth to it. I don't know, sometimes I just sit at my desk and I feel like the stuff that I'm doing is just getting absolutely nowhere, and then another day will come around and stuff clicks and it moves into place. But it's tricky riding that wave sometimes, because you all these doubts creep in, and I don't think anyone's immune to that. You're always sort of doubting yourself, especially when, like in my instance, I'm still the only person on the core team, so it's only I only have myself to refer to. So sometimes you can end up in a little bit of a downward spiral of doubt, and it's tricky trying to pull yourself out of that, especially when you're working on your own. But it's all part of the game, and it's very much the roller coaster of business, really, and you just have to ride that out. Got this one, and then these two. There's one thing that I felt that slightly held me back over the past few years of building Headstrong. I'd say it's not having a co-founder. And I never really went out looking for a co-founder. I always wanted to do it myself. Probably you could perhaps say it's the wrong way to go around things, because what I often crave now is that feeling of that person to bounce ideas off in a work environment, and it's something that I don't have. And you can often get trapped inside of your own head, I think, when it's just you working on something day in, day out, all the time, every night, every day. And I think there's great benefits to having a co-founder, that it can really level you and they can tell you when you're wrong. And for now, I don't have that person. And, I have people around me, a small team, but the people that work on other things too. It's not just my brand. So yeah, it's an interesting thought, but it's feels more apparent to me recently, the need for me to have this person to help direct brand where I want to take it. Unfortunately, it's been one of those Mondays. The site is down currently and has been. It's 2 p.m. on Monday now, and it has been since about midnight last night, as per messages I got through to my inbox. Basically, I was making an ebook last night on this AI kind of app, and I've accidentally linked the domain name to the ebook rather than the actual website. So I found to transfer that back, but that can take up to 2 days. So all ads are off. No traffic, website's down, I've got people that can't access subscriptions. Yeah, it's just one of them. But about 5 a.m, I'm just walking to the train station to get the first train down to London. Shooting today. Very last minute shoot. Just all ad stuff really. I didn't really want to do it, to be honest. Things have just been feeling a little bit up in the air at the minute, and yeah, just didn't have proper time to prepare, but Alex has put effort into drafting the script, so got it done on a last minute thing. Just arrived at the studio, but everyone's going to be late because the Northern Line was terminated. Some incident on there, so I had to go some mad route here. It's already nearly 20 past. I've only got 2 hours in here, so I'm just going to have to smash it out, but studio's kind of nice. Very simple, but does a job for what we need. I had a look at them this morning, and I feel that I want to do them in a more conversational way.
A few of your early videos, there's like one where you're trying to catch your mouth and you're laughing a bit in between the takes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should do that, but that does bring a light-hearted energy to the scripts that I think works very well.
I had to cram all mine within the last 45 minutes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's the kind of feeling we want as well, that energy is like kind of more natural.
Yeah.
Is the sun too bright? What about this way? Try and bring me this like quite close to the camera as you're like looking to rip it.
Just got back from London. It's probably the shortest time I've ever spent in London, to be honest. I think I was there for 5 hours in total. Got the shoot done and just headed straight back on the train because I didn't really have anything else to do. I just wanted it to be like a quick in and out. Currently, I'm onboarding with Holland & Barrett online. Now, this is different to Holland & Barrett in-store. Different offering, but what it allows me is a good inroad to get in store in the future, and especially with the drinks, retail is going to be a huge part of that, so that could be a really, really good way into, one of the biggest stores in the UK for my sort of product. So yeah, I think it's sort of like a 8-9 week turnaround for this online thing, so it's not going to be, I'm not going to be on site immediately, but give it a few months and then we'll see how performance is, and who knows, could be in stores next year.